Hey, what's going on there, YouTube?
What's up out there, YouTube?
This is SEL0320.
It's your boy Joe Johnson 030.
We are back, y'all. So, y'all know the Arrow is off. Y'all know the Gotham is off. Y'all know the Flash is off. Walking Dead. There's nothing on TV right now. But yet, we were able to watch something that is about to come up really soon. And that is Supergirl. So, the pilot for Supergirl did leak online. Had it for quite a while. But I wanted to kind of wait for a good opportunity to actually watch it and give y'all a non-spoiler perspective of what we thought of it. And then following up, if you want to watch a spoiler review, then we're going to do that preceding this video right here. But without further ado, this is our non-spoiler review for Supergirl. This is going to be on CBS. It's going to be on the same exact time as Gotham, which is insanely stupid, on Mondays. But yeah, it's all good. But no, so first impressions. Did we like it? I liked it. Surprisingly, yeah. I actually thought it was actually pretty good. I thought the CG was on point. I thought that there were certain sequences that were happening, especially a plane sequence, and even like when she's flying. When you actually see Supergirl flying, I thought that they spared no expense at all. Like they did that really good job with, of course, with Flash. But with this, I was like, they put it to a level that it's in between like a movie and a TV show. Like I could see it as though like this is part of the same exact universe. Like they left some stuff open-ended, but as far as how they actually did the CG work and then even the camera angles, it was done really well. I really appreciated how much detail they put into the CG work, because the trailer, it didn't entice me that much. It didn't entice me that much. But what are some of your thoughts of why you liked it, I guess, going into it?
I think, for me, I think the best part of this story, and I think they're going to continue this throughout the entire series, but I think one thing I think I'm going to find the most enjoyable process of watching the show is watching Supergirl grow.
Yeah.
Because I mean, even in this episode, we've got to see her, you know, starting out where she didn't want to use her powers at all, or she didn't use her powers at all, and she was trying her best to, you know, to be normal. And then like towards the middle of the episode, it's like she had to use her powers to save someone, and to see her transition from like this kind of awkward kind of, you know, little nerdy girl to like a superhero. That's very interesting to watch. And kind of like seeing her normal and then seeing her as Supergirl, like they're almost like two different people.
They really do.
And it's so crazy. It's so crazy.
Yeah, because when she's Supergirl, I feel like that's really her. You know what I'm saying? Like Clark, he grew up on a farm and he embodied being the farm boy, and at the same time, naturally he progressed into being Superman. But he's more natural looking like Clark Kent. You know what I'm saying? She, even though she does it well, like she's just a sad looking nerdy girl that has talent, that has self-esteem issues, and at the same time had different things that's kind of happened in her past that keep her sheltered and introverted. But when she's Supergirl, when she takes her glasses off, you can tell the bubbliness that comes out of her, the joy that comes out of her, the radiance that comes out of her. And I think that's probably why they typecasted her. I think that when she takes her glasses off, you can tell that there's a brightness that kind of brighten up the room when you kind of look at her. That's pretty cool. So like you said, yeah, I think that they did a really good job of processing her growth throughout most of this episode. One of the things I thought was really interesting is the backstory. They stayed true to the mythology. I'm not going to spoil it in this one. If you want to know everything about it, go to the spoiler review. We'll talk more in depth there. But they did stay true to a fault with how she is the age that she is, and how Clark is a lot older than her, you know? And even more so of like what happened when she actually crash landed, and how did he interact with that. I thought that was really cool. I thought that they could have used that, or they might use that into the movie universe, but based on what DC said, they don't want to have any connection with the cinematography, like the cinema version versus the TV version, which is kind of stupid in my opinion. I was like, if y'all plan on this and actually going and trying to conquer the TV universe, like take a script from Marvel. Like, go ahead and utilize this as an opportunity. Because one of the things in this episode, it takes place a little bit longer and stretch after Man of Steel, if I'm right. Because there's an introduction of certain characters that have not been introduced yet. And one of them is James Olsen. Jimmy freaking Olsen is not Caucasian, y'all. He's not like red-haired or freckled. He is about 6'2", African-American male. And I mean, they did the same thing with Perry White, with Florence Fishburne. That was really great typecasting. I thought that he was one of the most natural characters in this episode. Like, he kind of embodied, like, man, yeah, like, I know Superman, you know, and his relationship with Superman is really key to how the progression of her character is supposed to evolve too. And I thought that was really cool. So for them to go that route, and given like the history between Supergirl and Jimmy Olsen, that means it's a possibility of them having like a true relationship, you know what I'm saying? So I thought that was really cool how they played on that. What's something else, Joe, before I go into any of the negatives before we wrap this up? Ooh, the villains. So they took a card out of what show? The Flash, like the metahumans, and they're basically taking rogue aliens and imparting them onto the show for her to have something to combat. And at the same exact time, there is kind of like a Star Labs slash recovery team that's called a DEO, that they're gonna play a big mold into this as well, and with her mythology. So I thought that can go either way, because some of the aliens kind of look kind of strange, but this one specific alien, like they did a really good job with the fight sequence. I thought the fight sequence was pretty good. What did you think about, I guess, how they're dealing with who she's gonna fight and why are they creating the show, I guess?
Nah, I think it was really clever as far as how her character is interwoven, how her story, her backstory ties in with the villains' backstories. Mm-hmm. Because all of them, you know, are convicts. Even on Krypton, they were convicts. So, yeah. And her parents kind of were the ones who put them away. So you can see why they have, you know what I'm saying, ill will towards her. And so I mean, with that, it's like, I think that was really clever. And even how they came to Earth, it was really clever how they did that, how they came into, how they, I mean, I'm not gonna tell them, but it's really clever how they designed that and set that up for you.
Yeah. So negatives. For me, I feel like the IT guy is there, and I mean, I think that they have an opportunity of making him like more than just the IT guy, because he kind of like has this connection with her, you know, but she's not feeling it, you know. And he even kind of made a statement, it's like, you're gonna find that one person when you look at them in the eye and you identify this is the person you love, you're gonna feel this feeling at some point. I felt like why is he really there? I mean, I know that she needs somebody to kind of help her like get along the progression of like costume stuff like that, but it's like I didn't like that because it kind of felt really campish. Another thing is that this show might not be for everyone. In the relation to, if you look at the beginning of the episode with her relationship with her sister in the beginning, if you don't finish it, you're gonna be like, man, what is this melodrama understanding of like what this girl's trying to do versus what her sister or her family's trying to get her to be. It could come off a little campish if you don't look at it all the way through. But towards the end, I really got it and I really appreciated it. But there was one statement that her sister had made. It was just kind of Like really? Like I was really ticked off by it initially, but then I saw the reasoning for it. So it's kind of nitpicky stuff. I didn't see too many negatives with it, other than I think my problem is that I'm spoiled by Grant Gustin. I'm spoiled by the guy that acts as the Flash. Like from the episode 1 of the Flash, I could see this dude pouring out his acting. You know what I mean? Like it was like when he cried, I could feel it. When he was smiling, I could feel it. When he was going in and doing what he had to do, like I could feel it. And there are moments that she peaks on that, but it's like it might be an acting thing or it might be a progression of her character. I'm not sure if it's how they want to present her as Supergirl on this show, but it's not the same kind of depth. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. Like when I saw her cry, when I saw her get upset, when I saw her even in action, there were times where I was like man, this is kind of her just going through the motions versus like show me your emotion. You know what I'm saying? Like show me like this is hard for you, or show me like your invulnerability is a weakness or a curse. You know what I'm saying? Like they haven't gotten into that, and that might be because they're trying to set this up to brighten up the DC perspective, whereas with the Zack Snyder movies and Man of Steel, or even Batman vs Superman, it just seems like more of a darker tone than how this show projects, and even with the Flash as well. So that might be what they're trying to do. They might try to take this and pull it away from the Arrow or the Flash and just try to make this a centralized, like really happy show, you know. But I was interested. You had made some points about how they're setting this up for women empowerment, but at the same time anti-sexism in the sense of how they're presenting everything with this girl's dynamics of her life. Did you want to kind of go into that a little bit before we end off?
Oh yeah. So pretty much it was very interesting to see like the start of the episode, like she's having like this pretty much this dilemma to where, you know, everyone know at this point in this point in her life, everyone knows about Superman, like, and everyone's talking about Superman, and she's talking to like some people, like her sister who knows about like her you know, her powers and things like that, and her sister is pretty much like, yo, like you can't, you know, be that hero. It's not safe. It's not something you should do. And I was just pointing out, it was like, okay, so at this point, everyone's celebrating Superman and everything, and it's okay for Superman to be a hero. But when it comes to her, she's trying her hardest not to be herself, and it seems like everyone around her is telling her that's what she should do. Mm-hmm. And that's her place, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's like even though she has this pretty much the same capabilities as Superman, it's like if she still has to the stigma that that's something she shouldn't be, you know? Mm-hmm. And that's one thing I found interesting with this episode, as far as like you see like kind of like some kind of like the sexism behind, you know, some of the I don't know if that was intentional the way they set that up, or if it's like, you know, just kind of inherent. I don't know. Yeah. But I found that to be very interesting. To be very interesting.
Yeah, and I mean, to piggyback off of him, like, in all seriousness, like, when I saw, that was one of the things I said I was really upset about, was her sister making a comment about her that you cannot do this, you can't do. She just saved a whole bunch of people, and her sister came with a lot of flack and a lot of, you know, malice in a sense. And I felt like it came out of a place of jealousy. And a lot of female interactions, sometimes jealousy can embark, and they interact differently than how males, like, me and him, if we beefing, we're going to talk about it. But with them, they might say it under the cut, and then they're going to internalize it, and it might recede into them, you know. And for her, being an alien and being away from her family that got killed, like, she feels deeper. Like, she's not going to feel the same way that Clark felt because she's a female. Like, she internalizes all that. She might hold it in more. And because of that, like, hearing somebody that is supposed to be so close to her downplaying, like, her not just as a female, but as a potential person that has a true destiny and a call to be able to protect, downplay that. It's like, okay, you are my sister, like you're supposed to walk in your own destiny and identify with that. Like, so that means that you're holding yourself in bondage or even holding us down, you know? And I thought that was really well placed in the sense of how he was describing it. Like, that's kind of like an anti-feminist in a sense. And like that show, the show, if it does it a certain kind of way specifically, it has the realm of reaching a lot of young females out there, or even like older in the demographic that have succeeded in life when they've been told that they can't do something, or when they know that their destiny, they know they have the full ability and the range to do it more than anybody else, but they can't. That's where this show can really touch a large demographic of people. So they have a lot that they can really do with this. So that was a really good point, and I really wanted to address that up here. So we're gonna maybe go into that a little bit more, I guess, when the series does come out. But hopefully y'all enjoyed our review for this, our non-spoiler review of this. And we're gonna do a spoiler review that talks about all the different things that kind of happen. So if you want to know about that, go check that out in the next video. But this is SCL0320. We just did the review for Supergirl the pilot. Hopefully y'all enjoyed it. You know what I'm saying? We out, everybody. Till the spoiler review. Later. I'm off.